I just got the biggest promotion of my career as a doctor. I ran home to tell my husband, expecting a hug or a celebration. Instead, he looked me in the eye and gave me an ultimatum. Resign by the end of the month or we go our separate ways. Now he's sleeping in the guest room and my marriage is falling apart because I refuse to kill my dream.
Hi besties, welcome to my channel. On this channel we dive deep into real life drama, relationship struggles, and silent battles we face in our marriages, relationships, and career. You're going to get the raw truth, my honest perspective, and a safe space to share your own journey too. So if you love authentic storytelling and real talks, stick around. Thank you.
So let's dive into today's story. Drum roll! Before anyone called me doctor, I was just a little girl with a big dream. I grew up in a modest home. We didn't have much. Sometimes the light would go out while I was reading. Sometimes there wasn't enough money for extra textbooks. But I had one thing: determination. I remember studying under a rechargeable lamp because power supply was unpredictable. I remember borrowing textbooks from seniors because I couldn't afford new ones. I remember classmates laughing when I said I wanted to specialize one day. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how expensive medical school is? Yes, I knew. But I also knew I didn't want an ordinary life. I wanted to save lives. When I got admission into medical school, it felt like a miracle. But that miracle came with sleepless nights, mental breakdowns, and exhaustion I can't even explain. There were nights I slept only 2 hours. There were exams that made me question my intelligence. There were days I cried in the bathroom because I felt I wasn't good enough. During clinical rotations, I stood for hours in the operating theater until my legs trembled. I saw life enter the world. I saw life leave the world. I learned how fragile everything is. Residency was worse. Long calls, emergency surgeries, missing Christmas, missing birthdays, missing weddings. Watching my friends build relationships while I built a career. But I endured because every time a patient smiled and said, "Thank you, doctor," it reminded me why I started. Somewhere along this journey, I met the man who would later become my husband. He admired my ambition. He told me he loved how focused I was. He said he was proud to introduce me as my wife, the doctor. I believed I had found a partner who understood my purpose. Years later, the promotion came. A leadership position, more responsibility, more recognition. It was proof that every sacrifice had not been in vain. I was shaking with excitement when I got the email. I imagined telling my husband. I imagined celebration. I imagined pride in his eyes. When I told him, he stared at me quietly. I thought he was processing. Then he said something that shattered me. "If this means more hours, more stress, then I think it's time you quit. I want a full-time housewife. Our home needs you more." I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He said my career was becoming too demanding. He said a woman cannot successfully balance that level of ambition and still be fully present at home. He said he wanted peace. He wanted a wife who would slow down. I tried to remind him who I have always been. I didn't become ambitious overnight. I didn't just wake up and decide to chase medicine. This has been my identity long before we said I do. Then came the ultimatum. resign by the end of the month, or we go our separate ways. Separate ways. Just like that. All the years, all the memories reduced to a deadline. That night, he moved into the guest room. The silence in our house became loud. We stopped laughing. We stopped eating together. We stopped praying together. I would leave for work in the morning, saving lives, giving hope to families, and return to a home where my own marriage felt like it was on life support. I started questioning myself. Am I selfish? Am I too ambitious? Is loving my career equal to neglecting my marriage? But then I remembered the girl who studied under dim light, the girl who cried over anatomy textbooks, the girl who refused to quit when things were hard. If I abandon her now, who will I become? I love my husband, but I also love the woman I fought to become. And no one talks about how painful it is to be forced to choose between love and purpose. So I chose my dream, not because I don't value marriage, but because I cannot live a life where I shrink myself to make someone else comfortable. If a partnership cannot celebrate growth, then what exactly is it protecting? Una don't hear a story, oh. What do you have to say? Oh, more. This story is heartbreaking because it shows a deeper issue: insecurity and unmet expectations. Marriage should not be about control. It should be about support. If someone fell in love with your ambition, they should not ask you to bury it. At the same time, conversations about expectations in marriage should happen early. Roles, career goals, lifestyle, these things matter. But ultimatums, they rarely build healthy homes. Now I want to hear from you. Was she wrong for choosing her dream? Should she have sacrificed her career for her marriage? Or was the husband unfair? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.